is hungry. This team isn't done. This team is not going to be denied.
Energy all day! Energy all day!
Nick Bolton makes the hit. It's intercepted by Brian Cook. It's Mahomes gunning it long. Caught!
It's been 14 days without Chiefs football as the team went into the bye week following a tough loss in Buffalo, but the guys had a chance to get healthy and recharge over the last few weeks, and with all of their goals still right there in front of them, it's finally time to attack the second half of the season. We are 2 hours from kickoff. You've waited 2 weeks for this very moment. It's finally here. It is time for football in Chiefs Kingdom. Let's do this. My name is Matt McMullen, joined by voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus. This is Field Pass, presented by StorageMart. And Mitch, I feel like the Chiefs haven't played a game in forever. We're back now, though, and it's a big one here today.
Yeah, people have said, they've asked me all week long if it's a must-win. No, it's not a must-win. That's like Game 7 of the World Series or a playoff game. But it's critical. We all know that. That's pretty obvious. But it feels like a playoff game, and the margin of victory today will be slight.
And it won't be easy here today. The Broncos are playing good football. They're 8-2. That's the best record in the NFL, due in large part to the performance of their defense. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. But first, I want to talk about their offense a little bit, because these guys are an interesting study offensively. What are your thoughts on this Broncos offense?
I don't know. When you do a scuba dive into them, it's just so unique. The best part of their offense is their offensive line. They don't get enough discussion, and the improvement of Garrett Bowles and McGlinchey at tackle. All-pro first-team right guard. He's got the least pressure rate of any right guard in the league when you look at Quinn Miners. But this offensive line, we know they've only allowed 10 sacks, but they're best in the league in pressure rate allowed, and they're number 2 to New England in clock-eating drives, meaning when they get these fourth-quarter rallies, they shut it down. They shut you down, and that's the offensive line.
Yeah, well, it's been strange for them this year. I mean, they've been really good at times. They've scored at least 28 points 4 times this year, but they've been inconsistent. They've been held to 20 or fewer points on 5 occasions this year. Now, when they're playing well, it's often because their running game is working. These guys average 129 rushing yards per game this year, and the guy behind most of that production has been J.K. Dobbins. He's 5th in the NFL in rushing. Well, Dobbins isn't playing today, and it sounds like he might be out for this season. That's a big deal. Instead, it will likely be R.J. Harvey, the rookie at a UCF, getting the bulk of the carries today. What are your thoughts on Harvey, and does that change their offense at all in your mind?
Not really. Harvey's a really good rookie back. But what it does change is when Harvey was able to spell Dobbins. Yeah. And the fact that you have this A-B. Well, now you just have B. And so you got Jaleel McLaughlin, who's played a lot, but he's not at the level of an R.J. Harvey or the power of an R.J. Harvey or a J.K. Dobbins. And Denver likes to have power runners. So, and it takes R.J. Harvey a little bit out of their passing game. He's a good receiver, but a really good rookie running back. But is it all on him? I think it's a lot to ask for it to be all on him. And losing Dobbins, who's had this injury-plagued career, is a blow for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, not having Dobbins is a big deal. He's accounted for like 23% of their overall yards this year, a big part of their offense. Harvey is a good player, though, but overall, if the Chiefs can stop this running game for Denver, it'll put more pressure on Bo Nix in his passing game. Let's talk about Nix a little bit. Kind of an up-and-down season for him. Now, on one end, he has 18 touchdown passes. That's 5th most in the NFL. That's good. On the other, his completion percentage and his yards per attempt averages are near the very bottom of the NFL. What do you make of Nix's season so far, and how can we slow him down here today?
9 of those 18 touchdowns are in the fourth quarter, Matt.
Wow.
He reminds me, I've said this analogy all week long, but he's the kid that doesn't come to class all semester and then aces the final. Because his first 3 quarters are brutal. Only Cam Ward has had a worse passer rating than Bo Nix. And yet he's put all of his production and all of his heroics into the fourth quarter. Good sign. It's why they're 8-2 in many ways. 4 fourth-quarter comebacks. But if you can get on them in the first 3 quarters, Bo Nix has got to play better for them, or this 8-2 could look differently in about 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, overall, this Broncos offense has struggled this year. I mean, they have the second highest 3-and-out rate in the NFL, and despite having 35 more offensive possessions than the Chiefs this year, the Chiefs and Broncos have the exact same number of touchdown drives. Each team has 28. You said it, though, and I'll give them credit. Nobody has been better in the fourth quarter this season than Denver. They have the best point differential, the best yardage differential, and the best sack differential of any team in the NFL in the fourth quarter. And like you said, Nix, he has the most total touchdowns and first downs of any quarterback in the fourth quarter this year. Yeah, if we have an opportunity to seize this game before the fourth quarter, we got to do it.
One crazy stat, the Broncos have trailed for 206 quarters. I'm sorry, not 206 quarters, 206 offensive plays, 206 quarters of a season in their 7-game winning streak. That's the most since they've kept that stat. It's just bizarre, the fact that when winning close games, honestly, the 25 Broncos or the 24 Chiefs. They've won it with blocked field goals. There have been a lot of quirky things that have happened. So if the Chiefs can actually get some distance and have some spread or some equity prior to the final 15 minutes, it could be very tough on Denver today.
And I think a pretty consistent theme in the Chiefs' losses this year is missed opportunities, right? That was certainly the case against Buffalo. And I want to talk about the Chiefs' offense specifically a little bit because the Bills game was a bit of an anomaly in my opinion. I think that's more of a blip on the radar offensively than the beginning of a trend because even if you include the Bills game, since week 4, this remains the number 1 total offense in the NFL and the number 7 scoring offense. We'll talk more about the Broncos' pass rush here in a minute, but specifically talking about the Chiefs' offense. What are you hoping to see out of them here today?
To understand that every possession is like the last possession. That's what this feels like today because the defenses are so good. We'll get to that in a second and what their defensive averages are. But, you know, one of the studies that I looked at, I'll give Dana Hughes credit. He got me down that the hypothesis was, well, how are we doing? We're not doing very well in the last of the second quarter, start of the third quarter, the double dip, I call it. We've won the toss 7 times.
It's crazy.
In 9 games, in Detroit gave us another one because they took the ball in week 6. In our 5 wins, the Chiefs have maximized that double dip. 7 touchdowns and 1 field goal, no 3 and outs. In the 3 of the 4 losses, Charger game in Brazil doesn't count because they got the toss. But at the double dip in those 3 losses have been no touchdowns, 1 field goal, and 4 3 and outs. If that happens today, you'll lose again. And if you got to defend, if they win the toss and deferred, you got to defend the double dip. But that's to your point of this is a critical game. This game is going to be full of about 24 critical moments that could dictate this game. It's a playoff feel. For the Chiefs to be successful today is put a sense of urgency on every play, every series. Avoid 3 and outs.
Yes.
The Broncos, you mentioned percentage-wise, they have the most 3 and outs in volume. Percentage-wise, they're second, number 1 in the most. But the Chiefs have got to avoid the deadly 3 and outs at the critical times.
Now, when you're trying to get back on track, certainly helps having the bye week to kind of self-evaluate a little bit. And everyone knows this stat. Coach Reid is the very best in the business following a bye week. He's 22-4 following regular season byes in his career, best record in NFL history. Why do you think Coach is so good after bye weeks?
He's humble and self-aware. Sometimes a coach can be so arrogant, especially a coach who's been successful as Coach Reid, to think, we'll just keep pounding our head against the sheetrock. Coach is so good at self-evaluating and being self-aware, it permeates through the whole staff and the team. So they're able to be honest with themselves. What do we have to fix? And then fix it. I've seen this now for 13 years. It's why he is so good after a bye, because many people can identify, hey, you're not doing this right, and then they just kind of power through it because, no, I'm smarter than you are. Not Coach. His humility, but his confident humility, much like our quarterback, is why he's been so successful on such a consistent basis.
Well, hopefully that extra time to prepare helps us against this Broncos pass rush today because, in my opinion, that's the story of the game. The Broncos have 46 sacks this year. That's the most in the NFL. It's 14 more than second place and more than any team through 10 games since 1989. Now, Nick Bonito, Zach Allen, and Jonathan Cooper are the big names. They've combined for 23 sacks this year, but it really comes from everywhere. The Broncos have 10 different players with multiple sacks on the season. $1 million question, Mitch. How do we slow down this pass rush today?
Well, Coach Reid taught me 13 years ago, you've got to do it a bunch of different ways. You can slow down a pass rush without even touching a player. Now, here's what's really impressive about this Denver pass rush. You know, there's a new metric about quick pressure rate. And one way to negate a great pass rush team is to get rid of the ball fast, right? We talk about it on the podcast. They're so fast that they take care of that because they're so fast to get rid of your quick plays. Still got to run some of those quick screens, slants, but it's a matter of jet sweeps, flip passes, slow down the pass rusher, then take some shots. You also have to have some max protect plays. Under center max protect. You have 5 blocking, have to, you can have 5 go out on a route. So just do the multiplier, not actually the addition. You can have 7 block, 3 go out, 8 block, 2 go out. Sometimes you have to max protect a play and go for it and trust a 2-man route or a 3-man route to get your play done.
Well, the other part of that equation, too, is these guys will blitz quite a bit. So they blitz at a 27% clip right now, top 10 in the NFL. They've blitzed the opposing quarterback at least 30% of the time in 8 of their 10 games this year. And I don't expect anything different here today. Look at the game last year Mahomes played against these guys. The Broncos blitzed us 57% of the time. We got to be ready for their blitz here today.
It's really peculiar to me because they have splendid athletes on defense, even though they're missing some today. We'll get that inactive report here, but they're missing 5 players due to injury. And Pat Surtain II is thought to be the best corner in the league. I got it. But even Singleton is a leader in their defense. But they blitz more than a team that usually is this good with this talent.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And so Vance Joseph wants to blitz, even though I've got great talent. It's like pressing with a basketball team where I've got the 5 best guys on the floor. That gives the Chiefs a chance, honestly. Yeah. I think I'd be more worried if they dropped 7 into coverage and relied, because they can get enough with Benito and Jonathan Cooper and Zach Allen, who's the most underrated player in this league. But if they blitz, there'll be some opportunities for the Chiefs to take advantage of it.
Yeah, protection really is key here today. If the Chiefs can win this game, it'll likely be because the Broncos pass rush didn't wreck the game. And with that in mind, why not catch up with one of the guys in charge of all this here today? And there goes Jerry Tillery.
Yeah.
Let's catch up with one of our offensive linemen, and Kingsley Suamataia. We caught up with him earlier this week.
And what a treat we've got right now. One of the emerging offensive linemen in the entire National Football League. Kingsley Suamataia is with us on this episode, getting ready for the Broncos. It's just been so exciting, though, to see your ascent. What would you say has happened to make this climb?
Probably just a lot of trusting God, trusting the coaches, trusting in me, and just going out there doing my thing. So, yeah, definitely shout out to a lot of the coaches, and especially the guys I play with, all 4 of them. So, trusting me that I can be there. So, yeah.
So, I think your first start ever at guard in the NFL was against the Broncos, right? Last year in Week 18.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think you've grown the most between that game and now?
I would definitely say the mental aspect of it all, like moving from tackle to guard. Tackle, you got the whole space, but being in guard is like that phone booth. But I fell in love with it, so that's probably the biggest thing is just the mental part.
The physical part in the fact of working shoulder to shoulder with Creed. Now, you've had some different tackles. We're getting Josh back, but we've had different tackles since then. But twists and stunts and games, how big is it to work with those guys on your right and left?
Oh, it's definitely important. It's definitely different being in the middle of it all, having to work with Creed and then having to work with my tackle. But I remember my first twist I ever saw. It all happened so fast. I was like, I think I had this guy. But yeah, it's definitely a big learning. Yeah.
So this Broncos squad, is this the first team that you've faced twice now? As a guard, it must have been, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And I remember you saying after the game that Zach Allen was like, hey, man, you're pretty good at this. Have you thought about that at all? Like, you're going to face him here again, and you have a chance to go up against the team for the second time now at guard?
Yeah, most definitely. He's definitely one heck of a player, and you see what he does on the field. And but, yeah, it definitely would be a good matchup. So I'm excited to go against him again. So, yeah.
Kingsley, this Bronco front is elite. I mean, we know that. What do you think makes them so, and then the best countermeasures against them?
I think all of them just have a great motor, from their DNs to their D tackles in the middle. Just the whole defense, they play with a high motor. But I'm definitely excited this week what we got throwing at them, starting the run game off strong, and then just opening the pockets with whatever we got with the throws.
You think the bye fell at a good time where you guys can kind of get healthy, recharge, and kind of attack the second half of the season?
No, yeah, most definitely. It was definitely a good time to have some time off, but, man, we're ready to roll, man. Like, we never astray. Like, we're all stuck together. We're ready to attack this rest of the half of the season.
What's been so fun, Kingsley, is to watch you, whether it's power and you're pulling guard to guard, it gets real fun, or you're the play side guard. What happens when you get the play call and you're going, oh, it's that play that you like?
It's definitely exciting. I don't know. I get excited any play, but probably like when you call a pulling play and I'm pulling, like I'm just excited to run full speed and just hit somebody. Yeah.
Well,
So, yeah.
you're pretty good at that. Is there someone on the offensive line that you've kind of leaned on over the last year, whether it be Trey or Creed or whoever, and kind of has helped you develop into an interior lineman?
Most definitely Trey and Creed. It's even across the board, and even JT when I was at tackle. So they all have helped me be the player that I am today, and I thank them for it. So yeah.
One cool thing too is the screen game, and the screen game is a art form.
Mm-hmm.
How much have you learned about being an effective screen player as a guard?
Flat and getting vertical. That's been the main thing, especially when Coach Eck is like, get vertical. Don't your eyes get all over the place when you see little guys running down. You want to chase them on an angle. Just get vertical, and the guys behind us don't do the rest.
So the NFL and even college football acumen in your family is crazy. Like your family tree is nuts with like NFL players. Is there anyone that has reached out to you or that you kind of keep in close contact with in terms of your growth as a player right now?
All of them. Just yesterday, Puka texted all of us. Jacob Robinson, one of my boys I play with in high school, he's at the Niners. So he checked on all of us and see how we're all doing. So yeah, definitely all of them. They all hit up. I text them, they text back, so yeah, it's good.
It was super cool when you and Panay got to exchange jerseys. That was awesome.
Most definitely, yeah. I needed that one.
Yeah.
But that being said, if it's a family reunion, you guys got video up, and I can't imagine what your family reunions would be like, exchanging stories.
A lot of stories, but a lot of food. So, so yeah, there's gonna be a lot of food. There's a lot
Favorite
of food.
At the family reunion, you're going, I hope this is there because I'm going to devour it.
I'll probably just say pig. Okay. Yeah, we do this thing. You cook it underground, put some rocks over it and some dirt and let it cook all day. Yeah, so yeah. But anything, I eat anything.
Well, let's hope it's cooking all day because it's been cooking all season. Kingsley, Suamatia.
Here we go.
Yep.
All right, great stuff there from Kingsley. It's cool to see how his confidence has really grown, don't you think, over the last year?
They are a fraternity. That offensive line is a fraternity, and he has fully joined that fraternity.
Yeah.
And they've got to be that way today. I'm going to take you back to Super Bowl 57. Remember, for 2 weeks against the Eagles, who were going to break the record of the Bears sack record, like these guys. That offensive line took that to heart as a band of brothers. Remember the 0 sacks during the parade?
Yep.
I remember walking into the locker room after Super Bowl 57, and they go, "Hey, Mitch, how many sacks did the Eagles have?" I go, 0. So, but that's a band of – they have to be that way today. They have got to work in concert, shoulder to shoulder. It's so underrated, one of the most underrated parts of an NFL game. But Kingsley's in the fraternity now, work with everybody else.
Now we'll get the inactives here in a minute. They're 2 minutes late. So last week, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, against Buffalo, everything was like on time and ahead of schedule, and we lost. So maybe if it's late, that's a good sign. I'm going to take it for that.
You're looking for every little thing.
I sure am, yeah. But we know Isaiah Pacheco isn't going to play here today. Still out with that knee injury. Second game in a row without Isaiah. We'll see if Kareem and Brashard Smith can keep this pass rush off balance here today.
Think outside the box here. Think outside the box. Everything's in play. The running game for the Chiefs is one of the more unconventional in the league. Now, they spied Pat the last time 2 weeks ago. Buffalo wouldn't let him run. I look for Denver to do the same unless they blitz, right? But Pat's part of this run game or run to throw. Nobody has been more productive with scramble yards than Pat. But also Rashee Rice could be part of the rushing game, not lining up as a back. But just think outside the box here. And the rushing game has got to be effective enough. They don't have to run for 200 yards, but effective enough. But just because Pop's not out there, don't think the Chiefs can't run the ball. They just have to be creative in the way they're going to do it.
Now, we think Josh Simmons will be back. He had no injury designation coming into this game. That's great news. Great having Josh back after missing the last 4 games due to personal reasons. When we get the inactives, we'll find out if Jalen Moore is going to be active or not. He was a late add to the injury report with an illness. He's questionable, but great having Josh back.
No question, and he's so athletic. He's they haven't seen him. They haven't seen him. Benito hasn't seen this, and I love Wanya, great guy, but Wanya and 2 different players with Josh. Now we have to be careful with Josh. They're going to keep an eye on him too. He hasn't played in 5 weeks, and you're going against your swimming lessons against the piranha in the pool, right? So, but Josh's quickness, his athleticism is actually a big weapon against this quick rushing Denver team.
My wife is texting me right now because her seats are way up there somewhere. This is like an in-law house divided situation where my in-laws are all Bronco fans. My wife is a Chiefs fan, obviously, going to this game with her in-laws. She's texting me right now, where are our seats? I'm on Field Pass right now, Ellie, but we'll figure that out. For the Broncos, we're still waiting on the inactives. Oh, here they are. Okay, so for us, no real surprises. Yeah, nothing outside of what we talked about. Looks like Elijah Mitchell, though, will be active for the first time as a Chief.
Get ready for Elijah Mitchell. Let's hope it's the 2021 Elijah Mitchell. Just go look him up. Look him up and go, Elijah Mitchell, finally. What did he do in 2021 before all the injuries? Let's hope we get that today.
Now, for the Broncos, some stuff we already knew about coming in, some major injuries for them. So I mentioned J.K. Dobbins earlier, not going to play. You won't see him on their inactive report because he was placed on injured reserve. So J.K. Dobbins not going to play. Huge deal. I mean, he's rushed for nearly 800 yards this year. They're not going to have him. Defensively, Pat Surtain not going to play again here today. He's an all-pro, reigning defensive player of the year, maybe the best corner in football. Big loss not having him, missing his third straight game. How does his absence change things for them defensively?
Well, Riley Moss is the most targeted corner in this league. Ankeny Central, for you folks up in the Des Moines area that are watching here, he's also got the most DPIs. He also has the lowest rating against him. It's kind of weird. But there's places to attack this team. And it depends how much nickel they play. That'll depend on the formation and the blitzing. But there's ways to attack him. The next injury you're going to go to, though, I think, not as big as Surtain, but not far from that.
Yeah, this is a big deal. So Alex Singleton at linebacker is their leading tackler. So a really scary situation here. He was recently diagnosed with cancer. Now, the good news is it sounds like he's going to make a full recovery. He had surgery just a couple days ago. Yeah. Pretty incredibly, I'll give him big-time credit here. He played on Thursday night knowing he had surgery scheduled the next day. So a real testament to him. But he's not going to play here today. Glad he's going to be okay. But football-wise, that is a big loss for them today.
Imagine the Chiefs not having Trent McDuffie and Nick Bolton in this game. That's what it's like for the Broncos not to have Surtain and Singleton. Now, there's a message here, though, in prayers for Singleton and his family. It's testicular cancer. So you males watching here, to get checkups is actually a really important thing to do. He was going in for a routine checkup.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they discovered he had testicular cancer. I remember when Louis Aguiar had it when he was with us, when he was the Chiefs punter. So for all of us on the male side of the aisle, getting checkups regular is important. And they caught it. So it's a good thing, and he's had surgery. But again, the testicular cancer is nothing to, obviously, any cancer is anything to mess with.
Glad he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
This defense without him is still very good. Their pass rush is healthy. What an opportunity this is for the Chiefs, though. Been kind of an up-and-down season so far, but we have a chance to close this thing out the right way. All begins with this game here today. Let's go take advantage of it. For Mitch Holthus, I'm Matt McMullen. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Let's go get a victory.